All right, we're back at it today.
Why so serious?
All right, welcome back. We are starting this video off working on the SI. It's been sitting in my garage for months, and the wife is back there picking up the garage because while it's been sitting in the garage, I've been accumulating a bunch of junk. So I'm just throwing in the towel and saying trash, whatever I don't need. Obviously stuff that could be used we're keeping, but if it's something that I don't have or don't need to hold on to, trash. I'm gotta clean the garage back up. I want it to look pretty much like it looked when we first painted my workbenches. Pretty empty. So I gotta do the clutch on this thing, and I'll try to bring you guys along as much as I could, because I'm gonna mostly be underneath it. So I'm gonna try to explain what I could. What you need to know if you've never done it. I already started by I removed the rims. You don't need to disconnect this. I just did it because I don't even know why I did it. Oh, I think I'm gonna clean this up right here and paint it, because for whatever reason, the moment I put these on, they ended up rusting. So I'm gonna clean them up and respray them. But I took the rims off already. Oh, that's one of the things you're gonna have to do. Oh, I don't know why I took this off. You gotta take this off because you're gonna have to remove the axles from the transmission. So I'm gonna have to remove this bolt as well to disconnect this from the suspension. But I already got that axle nut off. That's moving in and out there. Gotta take the axles out, and you're gonna wanna take your cover off. I'm gonna start by removing the intake. I took the battery out because you're gonna want to get that out of your way anyways. It's over there charging because it's dead from sitting here for months. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect whatever connections are connected to the intake. Remove the intake so you get better access to the transmission bolts that are back here on this side. You have some down here as well. You're going to also you're going to have to remove the slave cylinder down there. I replaced my hard lines with this JTuned soft line here, as well as the master cylinder. I have a JTuned slave cylinder down there. I'll show you a little better. You can kind of see the JTuned impression right there. But JTuned slave, JTuned wiring, and JTuned master. I had a password JDM intake on this thing before, but I took it out because I had began to get issues with the mass airflow sensor, so I wasn't sure if it was because it was taking in too much air or what, but that wasn't the problem. That was just, as you could tell, new mass airflow sensor. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this out of the way, and then I'll get back to the video. So this is as far as I got. I took off the intake box. There's a few plugs you gotta unclip that's connected to the intake here. You gotta take out this hose, and there's a secondary hose here. that goes into the intake. And then on the transmission side, you gotta take out the shift cables. I took out the whole bracket because it'll make it easier to access the transmission bolts that are over that direction. Then you got this plug you gotta disconnect, this connector you gotta disconnect, and then this one down here you gotta disconnect. Right now I'm in the process of getting access to that. That's the slave cylinder right there. You take out those two bolts and then it should come right out. After that, that should be all the extra stuff that needs to get disconnected from the transmission. Then when the transmission is ready to get dropped, you gotta disconnect the motor mount, which is here, back there. And then there's one more back there. So we got 1, 2, 3. Then the transmission will be released from there. What else? There's normally a bracket that's connected here that comes up to connect all this other stuff back there that I just left off because it's not providing any support to the mount or anything to the body. So this is where we're at. Oh, there goes that other pin that I couldn't find. This is one of the retaining pins for those JTuned bushings that I have here. These are some other JTuned parts that I got going. And there's some retaining clips that go to that. Here's one right there. That one was back there, but it wasn't affecting the shifting at all. And I got the other one in my pocket. Somewhere in my pocket. Right there. And this one goes right here to retain it. So I'll leave those connected. And then I'm going to start taking that slave cylinder off. There you go. Now that it's out. Boom. I put one of the bolts in, one of them dropped. I just got to put them back. Try as best as you can to keep all the bolts or you take them off. It's like I did with the retaining clips. So that way you know where they go back. And since I don't have a hard line for my slave cylinder, I could just maneuver it around how I please. This is a slave cylinder here. There's a little JTuned part. All this stuff here is fucking rusted. I'm gonna have to clean it up. Before I put it back on. That fucking thing is rusted. I'm gonna clean that up, and then I'll put like a little rubber thing over it to see if that'll help keep it from rusting in the future. So let's set that there. And now everything is pretty much disconnected up here, minus the bolts to drop the transmission, which I'm not gonna do yet because after this you got to get underneath here, and let me show you. What needs to be done now is this subframe that I had painted red before when I had it out, but this whole subframe needs to get removed. All that, it holds the rack and pinion, it holds this motor mount that's located underneath where the oil pan is. All this shit here, and then it all connects again. So I gotta obviously take this splash shield off before I do it. So I'm gonna be under here removing the splash shield and undoing some of these bolts. And I'll probably set you guys there so you can see, or not. I want y'all to look at my ass, literally. And then let me see if I can show a few of the bolts that you gotta get to for the transmission as well. This bracket here for the transmission. There's another transmission mount right here. This is towards the front of the car. You gotta remove this thing. There's one here, another bolt here, another bolt here on this side. And then after you take those three out, you take this middle one out here, and then you gotta wiggle that shit somehow in order to remove it. Or if I remember correctly, once you undo that stuff, you can shift the transmission away before you drop it. So this isn't an easy job. It's rated at like an 11-hour job doing it at a shop. So here we are in my garage taking care of it within days or whenever I decide to work on it. So I think my next step is removing the splash shield, and I'm gonna try to start undoing these bolts for this subframe, because depending on how far I get today will depend on when I'm gonna stop. But as I lay here on the ground underneath this car, I don't know how far I'm gonna get today, but it'll more than likely be all in one video. So for you guys, if I stop today, you'll probably see me jump to the next clip of me working on it. But as of right now, I'm gonna continue on and see what else. Oh yeah. So the lower control arms right here. These lower control arms are also connected to the subframe. So these lower control arms got to get taken off, because they're bolted up here and down here to the frame, the subframe. Why Honda decided to make a subframe like this where everything is connected to it just to remove the transmission is beyond me, because oh my god, even if I worked at a shop for Honda, I would dread having to fucking remove all this stuff just to get to the transmission. It's ridiculous. Up until this day, I was trying to see if I could find something online that I can buy to replace the subframe, so that way everything is mounted where it's supposed to be and doesn't get in the way when you're removing the transmission, because having to do this is just such a pain in the ass. And I've already done this on this car like 3 or 4 times over the years, mainly because of my driving. But I'm trying to get this done because I may have a potential buyer for this car, and the quicker I get this back on the road, the quicker I can have dude look at the car in person and more than likely take it. The sounds of it, he's interested, and I mean, whether he takes it or not, whoever's watching this, once it's posted, you'll know. You can contact me if you're interested in buying this car. I'm selling it as is, with the body kit, the radio I have in it, exactly how it is. When I'm done, I'll go around the car and I'll do an overview of it, but I'm getting rid of it as is. And that's if this kid doesn't decide on taking it. But if he doesn't, like I said, put in your offer and we'll see how we'll get this car to you. Whether you come up here and pick it up yourself, or I take a few days vacation and drive it down to you. I'm already tired. Keep picking up this garage and doing this much to it. It's so tiring. But like I said, I want to try to get this out of here. I want to get out of the garage too, because that'll give us more space to work with and cleaning this garage. Well, I'll see you on the next clip, whether it's me saying I'm done for today or it's me continuing on. I'm not gonna finish this today. I'm gonna try to at least get the subframe dropped today. If not, I'll see you on the next clip. Yeah, looks like I'm closing up shop early. This, I mean, I can still work on it, but nah, I think I'll save it for another day. If I have enough, video, I will close this out. I'll post this video up, and then I'll just start a whole nother video doing the rest of it. That's more than likely what I'll do, because every time I try to work on this car, it seems to want to rain. So I got as far as trying to loosen up the bolts for the subframe. I got a lot of it out already. I got the plastic pieces out. Subframe is ready to get unbolted, and subframe's ready to get unbolted and removed. So hopefully you can hear me. If not, too bad. I'm gonna post this up anyways. But I'm gonna leave this video here. Rained out. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay tuned to JTuned. Peace.
Why so serious?
You gonna fix the car?